All right, guys, what is up? Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the best Fortnite pros who quit or are retired. Right into it. Get a little tier list going. So right off rip, Zate, Saf have to go S tier. And I want to say, if they are the staple, if they're the best, then I can put everyone below them. And that's fair. I don't think anyone on this list compares to them at the, at actual Fortnite. Through longevity wise as well. Obviously, like some of these people were incredible for a short period of time or their period of time. But then these guys did it for 2 years after everyone quit. Like Tfue was like one of the best solo players in the game, one of the best players in the game. And he had like he qualified for World Cup twice. He's an incredible player. I'm just going to put him in A because when he quit, Zate and Saf did it for another 2-3 years. So that's what is so impressive about them. They're S and they're the only S on this list, I want to say. Turner, I'll keep A because like I said, he was actually one of the best players in the entire game at one point. He's extra and Vinny right here. Extra one true reference, yes. And he was really, really good for the time, or like early on. I'm going to put Zextro in A because I believe for a short period of time, he was also considered the best player in the entire game. Him and Vinny did qual for Duo World Cup and they did pretty well. I remember them winning a game and Vinny Zextro tried to Vinny tried to sell, he was celebrating, he tried to dap up Zextro and Zextro was like, sit down, like stop. Vinny, I mean, I could put him alongside him, but I think Zextro was just kind of the older, it's almost like the older bro in a way. Like they're not related, obviously, and maybe cousins, I don't even know. He's almost like the older bro. I'm going to put Vinny in B because he's very good and his name might not be as big as the other names on this list and people might not remember him very well, but he was very good at the game. Next I'm gonna go Chap. I'll do the Liquid boys. I think I'm gonna throw Chap in A tier as well for the sole. Obviously, like he didn't qualify for World Cup, but I love Chap, so I'm not gonna do this off like who I really like and stuff. Obviously he didn't qualify for solo World Cup or duo World Cup or whatever, but he's extremely close. Probably could have qualified for both, especially duos. And leading up to that, he was a staple and competitive, one of the best players. He's introduced a lot of the current players into the game, like edgy threats, Dukes. There's so many players he's kind of brought up and brought in, like Booga, like all these guys. So I'm gonna put Chap at A. Turner's last FNCS, he got like 16th, and I think Chap got 4th or 5th with AV. So I'd definitely throw him up there. I'll do Poach. Poach quit after playing squads with me, so I pretty much made him quit if you think about it. And then, oh wow, it's weird because Vivid quit after playing with me too. Or maybe he took another season and then quit. I really don't know. Both of them at the time, I remember when they were doing back in the day, incredible players for their time again. I think almost sheer longevity. Maybe at the time they were better than Chap was mechanically at the game. So early on, maybe they were a little bit higher level than Chap around World Cup time. But then like Chap played for longer and outplaced them later on. And they did incredibly well in like trios with Vivid and squads with Vivid or whatever. And Poach played with me in squads. So it was a little, it was tough. I would say because of how good they were early on, I want to throw them B. And the only reason I keep Chap ahead, like I said, is because I think Chap played for a bit longer and kind of kept placing for a bit longer. Maybe a little bit wrong on that, but off the top of my head, I'm doing my best here. Love these guys though. They both are literally, I played with Poach in squads FNCS. I played with Vivid the next trio FNCS, I believe. But they were both incredible at the time. Like Vivid qualified for solo World Cup. Poach almost qualified and he should have, like at the time. Like they were so good. They could easily all be A. The only reason I have these guys A is because I think at one point or another they were considered the best at the game. I think Poach and Vivid were too. So this is so tough, dude. Early Fortnite, like if I'm going early, like these guys were that good. Like realistically, they could all be an A. And I don't really know why I'm putting them in B. I just think, whatever. It is what it is. They're crazy. Nick, the fucking godfather of controller players. My non-biological, literal father though. Like, so, the big Nick. I think I'm gonna throw him in B, and it's mostly obviously like the placements were there early on, and I think I'm gonna keep him here just because I think the impact he made on controller players, like I know it's mostly just a placement based list, but he was at early on in the game, he was really good. Like the bot racing days, even before I knew most of these guys and before most of them came up, like he was really leading the scene in bot racing. He was winning a ton of tourneys, and then that ended and he was immediately like one of the better controller players, well-known players, so he's a staple for controller players. Everyone looks up to him. He's nuts at the game. I'm gonna put Tfue and Cloak in the same thing right next to each other. I should have done that immediately. Cloak just was nuts at it. He's nuts at every game he plays. Honestly, pretty much everyone on this list I feel like would be nuts at every game he plays. I think Zextra's like a top Valorant player. I'm gonna put Aiden in A tier because this guy is just no, I can't. I literally don't know if I can put him in A tier because he was also the same way. He was winning everything really early on. He was crazy, but then he kind of stopped playing. No. I'm gonna, if I got Nick in B, Aiden's the mechanical controller demon. I gotta throw him in A. He was crazy. He was one of the best controller players in the game. He ended up going West. He qualified for World Cup on West, which is extremely hard because of the lack of qualifier points or placement points. Dude, I almost feel like I have to put him in B because I have Nick in B because of a lot of stature, but I feel like Aiden compared to Poach and Vivid was around the same. I think I'm gonna put them right next to each other. Screw it. They're both staples in the controller scene, and they're unbelievable at the game at their own time, respectively. Why am I bugging on words today? I've been really all over the place. I think it's because I take this right ear off so I can hear more. Respectfully, they were dominating their own time. I just think they were probably along the lines of Vivid and Poach, Vinny area. These guys were at one point, like I said, considered the best players in the entire game. Like I said, Vivid and Poach could easily be the same spot as Chap as well. It's just like I have Chap there because of how long he played. Kaizui, I'm gonna put him A, just because people think that if he didn't quit, if you guys haven't watched his montage, by the way, please do it. I think I watched it in my recent video. He's incredible at the game. Like he was like one of the earliest, most advanced players. There are montages from him that he made like back in the day that were 2-3 years old from now, and they still look like you could put them out today and they'd be fine. Like he was an incredible player, super talented. I have him in A just because he was unbelievable, and I'm pretty sure he quit, came back, won West FNCS, and then quit again. Like the dude is just nuts at the game. He has that crazy turn on land. If you throw that clip in there, he literally just 180 flicks on the guy. He's unbelievable, like nuts. Elevate, I think I want to throw him B. He was nuts for the time he played. Again, like I said, he was just unreal. God, this is impossible. This list is impossible. Elevate I'm putting here. Incredible player, super well in World Cup with Cease. I think they got 4th in duos. I don't know if at one point Elevate was considered the like top tier. He was like tier 1 at one point, but like I don't know if he was considered like these guys level. And I think part of the reason to do with that is their clout, but they were just massive at the time, so people really got to see them. Like Turner and Cloak streamed everything and stuff, and it was easy for them for people to recognize them. The more I go, the more I'm struggling. Hopefully you guys are sort of agreeing with me on some of these. Myth and Ninja, absolute staples early on, the best players in the game right when the game came out. And I think while they were incredible, a big reason that they were seen as the best players is because they had such large audiences, and they grew those audiences on Fortnite, but they were good early on. And I think that comes from FPS experience. So I'm gonna throw them in. I don't even know if I want to put anyone C, to be completely honest. Like I think they have accomplished less competitively than them. Like this is no knock to Ninja and Myth, because when they really did care, because when they tried, they were incredible. I mean, dude, Ninja, when he puts his mind to something competitively, I swear that dude can literally do anything. And Myth is a crazy talented gamer as well. The only reason I haven't seen C is just because they were crazy for the early period and then weren't doing as much even leading up to World Cup time, but like they were still so talented early on, and they just didn't put their like focus into it because they do content creation. And I'm a firm believer that like when you are involved in content creation and you make content, it is very difficult to keep up with pro play in any type of game if you do content like to that level. And the way the amount of hours they stream, the amount of content they try to provide, it's very tough to keep up with the competition. It's not their fault. Psalm was incredible at the game. I'm pretty sure it's Psalm. If it's not Psalm, I'm racist. I'm sorry. I have to put him in A just because West Coast GOAT, got 2nd in World Cup, unreal at the game, and the dude was just he quit at the top. I think his mechanics, people knew him as like a slower player. He wasn't as good of a fighter at the time. That's the reason I keep him below Zayt and Saf. He technically plays higher in World Cup. I think people kind of knew he was coming towards the end of his career after that, and he quit for Valorant. He's doing very well in Valorant. He's killing it. Congrats to him. He's a GOAT. Symphony. This one for me is one that I don't know, because I remember a long period of time when before people even knew him, he'd be in all the highlight videos, and I'd be like, who is this kid? And he's just aimbotting people, and he was incredible at like pubs. And I don't remember if Symphony was ever one of the best players in the game, or if he even competed at that level. I know his editing was super fast for the time, and everything he did was crazy. But I don't even remember him playing tourneys. I remember him playing scrims a lot, but I really don't know how good he is competitively. So I'm going to throw him next to Myth and Ninja. I don't think he would rank with these guys because they all really did compete for a longer period of time. Dude, they could all, there's so many people who could be moved up or down one. So it's my list. I think Zayt and Saf are the only ones that are locked in, to be completely honest, like locked in. I think like everyone else is interchangeable because, you know, you could put them wherever you want based on your own opinions. I kind of did this pretty quick. If you guys want to see one where I try to find more of the retired players, let me know, or just different tier lists, because I enjoy doing the tier list. Sometimes it gets a little toxic though, and this is, like I said, no disrespect, I didn't have anyone below D or F. I would never do that to these guys. I mean, they are legends in their own right in the game, respectively. Like, they are unreal at the game at their time, in their time. Some people just did it for longer and a little bit better. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.